Okay, so let's make this session a little more interactive. Don't shy to speak in between if you want to. All right. So wherever you feel that you wanted some more information, you can feel free to drop your question in the question box we have, or else you can unmute yourself and speak through that. Okay. So with that note, we can get it started. So this demo is mainly, we are going to focus on understanding on what exactly, we are going to focus for the next 2 months if you are coming into the training sessions. And this is about the, technology which is currently trending in the market, I would say. So which is the cloud technology, right? So I hope my voice is clear enough. Can anyone confirm so that I can just proceed ahead? Anyone, guys?
Yes, sir, nice.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. All right. Okay. So as I said, so this is the cloud application that we are going to get some basic overview on so that we can understand on how market, volatility right now with this application, and then we can kind of focus on what exactly we are going to learn. Okay. Yes, screen I'm yet to share. I haven't shared anything right now, but I'll share that right now. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm just opening that presentation, what I have. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. Screen share. So I guess the screen is visible right now, right? Is it visible? Okay, I'm
Yes, it
taking that.
is.
Yes, thank you. All right. So to give you some more clarity on what exactly we are going to discuss, right? This is called Oracle Fusion HCM. So that's one of the application developed by Oracle. So let me just open my Excel and show you or put some notes over there so that you can get some better understanding. So have you, any one of you heard about this name, Oracle Fusion HCM, which is a cloud application? Anyone so far? Okay, I'm taking that.
I did, but I was a bit confused about it.
Okay, I can give you some more idea. See, this Oracle Fusion HCM is one of the ERP tool. We can call this as an ERP tool. So if you have heard about ERP, ERP is nothing but Enterprise Resource Planner. Okay, Enterprise Resource Planner. See, this tool is more often, if you see the outside organizations we have, like if it could be TCS or IBM, anything, any company. So the employees who are working in that particular company, they have to maintain that employees' data in any of the application. So it could be Oracle Fusion HCM, or there are several ERP tools we have, right? It could be PeopleSoft or SAP. There are many, many things in the market. And Oracle Fusion HCM is one of that ERP tool. So where organization can maintain the resource information. Okay. So if anyone of you working already, so you might know this, your information, for example, your name, your job, your location, everything, your email ID, right? Your personal address, phone numbers, everything. So this complete information will be maintained in some of the applications. Okay. Because see, the data is maintained is, the main use of that, for example, right? If management wants to take any decision on, how many people currently active in the system, right? And how many people left from the organization. So based on the real-time data that they have in the application, they can kind of take some decisions. It's called data-driven decisions, right? So for that purpose, the real-time data has to be maintained in some of the application. Okay. For example, I am going on a leave, right? If I want to apply some leave, my information should be somewhere residing in the application. And my leave, whatever that I am taking, should be recorded somewhere. It could be my timesheet or my payroll, how much payment that I'm getting from the organization. So each of this employee related information has to be maintained somewhere so that the organization can review and take the necessary actions or make use of something, right? So that is where we call that particular tool where the data is maintained, which is called ERP tool. As I said, it's called Enterprise Resource Planner. Okay, so that's just a basic, kind of introduction about that ERP. And one of such ERP tool is Oracle Fusion HCM. Okay. So this is an application designed by Oracle, and Oracle has designed some other applications like PeopleSoft is also from Oracle, right? That's also an ERP tool. See, but the only problem there is PeopleSoft is on premise, like where customer has to maintain the servers from their end. But when it comes to Oracle Fusion HCM, this is completely cloud, right? So whatever the data that's maintained by organization, that is completely residing in Oracle servers. Okay. So which means customers do not need to worry about how to maintain the data integrity, data security, right? In a layman terms, for example, who someone doesn't know about all these kind of security things and all that. If I'm an owner for an organization, let's assume that. Okay. ABC is a company which is started by myself and there are 200 employees. Okay, let's put it here. So ABC company and I have 200 employees in the organization. Okay. See, I can't maintain 200 employees data in some sort of Excels, right? I can't maintain them manually so that the data might get lost somewhere or it might be difficult for me to manage the data in the system, right? So that is where what I'll do. I will go to some vendor who are providing these ERP tools. For example, it could be Oracle, right? So I'll reach out to them. I will try to understand what exactly this application does and what are all the different information that I can maintain. I'll get a demo from Oracle basically. Okay. So I might get the demo from different vendors like SAP, some other systems. Then I can take the call, which application that I have to go for. So that's how the basic, choosing of the application happens in the organization. So I might go to different vendors, like for example, SAP, or we do have some other vendors as well. Let's take these two for now. So I'll get the demo from these two systems. I mean, these two companies. And then I can take the call based on the cost, right? Licensing cost, or how much easy for the user to maintain the data and how much user friendly the tool is. All these kind of different factors needs to be considered. So after that only, then I can take the call, which application to go for. For example, let's assume right now I have got the demo from Oracle and I have decided to go for it. Okay. So I'm just giving you an explanation on how exactly this kind of hierarchy works, right? So initially starting from how a company chooses the application based on different factors, as I said, it could be license cost, user-friendly application, and it could be security and brands. There are several things that needs to be considered. So after deciding on all those factors, I can decide, let's say I'm going for Oracle Fusion HCM right now. See, immediately when I get the license for this, I can't be the one who implements it, right? For this 200 employees information, myself, I cannot put everything into the Oracle. So I should have someone or some team who already knows Oracle Fusion HCM application, who can implement that application for me, right? See, right now with these 200 employees, maybe I could have started in 2010 and this 200 employees information, I might be maintaining somewhere, right? So right now it's 2024, where I have decided that I have to go for Oracle Fusion HCM. So at this time, this entire 2010 to 2024, which is almost like 14 years information. So I have to get it stored in Oracle Fusion. So myself who doesn't know anything about Oracle Fusion, I can't implement it. So that is where I will reach out to the service providers. So we have so many service providers in the market. For example, it could be Infosys, or I think we have even IBM, Cognizant. There are so many MNCs and something called Povian, the company which I'm currently working on. So all these companies does provide the service where they can do the implementation of Oracle Fusion HCM. Also, after implementing the application completely, right? So understand this term called implementation. So when I say implementation, so doing the complete setup of that. So starting from how many different countries that I'm operating in and how many different legal structures. It could be like in India, I might be maintaining in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Noida, different locations, right? So this entire structure I have to maintain. So that's where the implementation happens. So let's say I have given this implementation project to Infosys. Okay. So let's say that Infosys team is having 4 members in the team, right? So then what will happen? So whenever I hand over this project to the implementation team, for example, like Infosys team, so they will start understanding the structure of my company. Okay. So they will try to analyze in which are all the different countries that I'm operating and how many employees that I'm having and what is the structure of the absence data, leave data, everything, right? So they will try to understand everything, whatever that I am implementing. And then they will start configuring the application. This is a kind of basic level, how the project bidding happens, how an organization chooses the application, all these kind of things happens. So we are stopping till this point because the next thing is kind of technical, how they will do the configuration. All these things we are not getting in right now. But on a real time outside market, this is how it happens. Project bidding happens. Something like Infosys will give me a quotation, IBM will give me the quotation, Cognizant, Covian, right? All these different companies, they will give me the quotation for the implementation. Okay. So after that, I'm going to decide, okay, this is a branded company or this is the company who has done so many implementations. Okay. So based on that, they are going to decide which implementation partner that I have to go for. So that's pretty much how the project bidding happens. Now let's understand going into this particular presentation. Okay. So let's start with the ERP. As we kind of briefed about the ERP, which is Enterprise Resource Planning application. Let's see some of the, you know, some background of it in a more theoretical way. Okay. So ERP is a process used by companies to manage and integrate the important parts of their business. So as I said, ERP is a process. It's also called as an ERP tool where we are following this process in applications, right? So it's a process used by the companies, so many organizations that we have. So which is used to manage and integrate the important parts of their business. So when we say integrate the important parts, so maybe I might be using the ERP, for example, Oracle Fusion to implement some of the modules only, not everything from an employee standpoint. For example, if you talk about their personal information, their address, phones, remaining informations, I might be getting the core HR module, right? We have so many modules in ERP systems like core HR, absence management, timesheets, and all these things. So whatever that is really necessary for me, I can start with that implementing into Oracle systems, and then I can take it further. And then many ERP software applications are important to companies because they help them implement resource planning by integrating all of the processes need to run their companies with a single system. Some companies might be using different ERP applications, right, to manage the resource information, and also they can integrate with each system. So in one system, I might be doing the hiring. In another system, I might be maintaining their financials. In another system, I might be maintaining the timesheets. So when I do that, so initially from the hiring system, I have to get the data to other systems as well, right? So that is nothing but the integration what we will do. One system integrates with other system, which means the data goes over there and resides in that. Same thing, it has to go to the timesheet system as well because that will not have an employee information unless the hiring system sends that info, right? That is called as an integration. That's how the integration works. See, integration might looks very technical, but it's just sending the information from one system to another system, which we call them as integration. Okay. And if you see, an ERP system can also integrate planning, purchasing, inventory, sales, marketing. There are many modules as we talk about. So ERP system, which means this Oracle Fusion HCM, and there are different other ERP tools, as I said, but we are focusing on Oracle Fusion only. So that can also be integrated with planning, purchasing, inventory, sales. There are different modules which can be running in other systems that we can integrate with Oracle. So that's what the intention is here, which means it's easy to flow the data from one system to another system. And yeah, so it can run a company. ERP solutions have evolved over the years, and many are now typically web-based applications that users can access remotely. So the another usage of this Oracle Fusion HCM application, right? So this is not something as a software that you have to install anywhere. So this is a web-based application. So which means you will be having an URL. For example, if I just tell you have gmail.com, right? So where you can access the Google Mail anywhere from the world, like anywhere across the world, you can access the Gmail. So similar to that, this application is also something, it's a web-based application. So we also call it as SaaS product, right? SaaS, SaaS, which means software as a service. So you can use this URL, you can open in any of your laptops, you can even try to access this in your mobiles as well. So you have to give the URL, then use login and password to log in into that, and then access the information. That's how it works. So an ERP system can be ineffective if a company doesn't implement it carefully. Exactly. Obviously, if you're not implementing it properly, obviously the ineffectiveness is something that can be seen by the customers, right? So if an application has given its full ability, you also have to start utilizing that full ability by implementing it properly, right? That's how you can make use of the end-to-end application. So think about all the core processes need to run a company, because these are something which are mandatory to run a company. Anything it could be, right? So finance is something which is very important for a company to run, and you have the HR module. And if there are some companies that requires the manufacturing related modules, supply chain, procurement, all these things comes into the picture based on the different segments in the industry, right? And finance and HR, these are the main modules where every company would almost require to manage this information, right? There are so many other modules. When we are going through the end-to-end thing, then we can understand how many modules we have. So they provide visibility, analytics, and efficiency across every aspects of business. Using the latest technologies, ERP systems facilitate the flow of real-time information across departments. So as I said, you will be having the real-time information in the modules, which means, for example, let's say today an employee got hired into the application, which means ABC company hired an employee today. That means that employee's information will be available in this Oracle Fusion immediately. So today you can see how many people got hired in the system, as well as if someone is going out from the organization, that will also get updated in the Oracle, which you can also see that, which means you can see the real-time information exactly today, what is the information available in my organization, right? So that is called the real-time information. And so businesses can make data-driven decisions and manage performance. So which means, see, when I say data-driven decisions and managing the performance, if ABC company is having people who are leaving immediately from the system, for example, say in last 10 days, there are 15 or 20 employees who went out from the organization and only 10 people got hired. Let's assume that case. So in that case, I can try to analyze what is the reason behind these people going out and what is the reason behind getting the less number of hires, right? So based on the data and analytics, which means for the past 10 days, so this is how much the data that I have got. 10 people gone out, only 2 people got in. So based on that, I can kind of figure out what is the lacking thing in my organization, right? And along with that, the performance. So every quarter we'll be having the performance reviews in basic organizations, right? That's how it happens. So every quarter, which means for every 3 months once, the review happens based on how employee is performing. So even by using that data, I can look for last 2 years for an employee and what is the performance for that employee. And I can take the call according to that. If that employee is not performing properly, I can say like what's happening, like what's going on with you or any issue within the organization project. Like I can have a discussion around that employee. Then I can take the final call on what needs to be improved, whether it is from an employee standpoint or is it from an organization standpoint, right? So that is called data-driven decisions, and based on that, we can improve the performance of the organization as well. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. Benefits of ERP. So an ERP system is made up of enterprise resource planning applications, then that talk to each other and share a database. And as I said, right now, Oracle Fusion is a cloud database where Oracle will be maintaining the end-to-end information. So, which means customer don't need to maintain the database from their end, right? So they can just store the information to the Oracle, similar to the Gmail, as I said. So we can just draft the emails, send the emails, and receive the emails. Nothing that you have to maintain in your private servers, right? So that's how the cloud application works. So this means you can eliminate information silos between departments and give everyone a single source of truth. So when we are maintaining this core HR module, so we can maintain the complete end-to-end employee information over there, like whether that employee is active or not, and what is their personal information, or even their national identifiers, right? When we say national identifiers, their Aadhaar, PAN, when it comes to US, their social security number, everything. So that's how we can maintain one single source of truth, which can be accessed to multiple systems. Your system can automate your core business and process and help you ensure regulatory compliance, reduce risk, fast track reporting, and so much more. So when we say regulatory compliance and reducing the risk, it's mainly the security part. So when you are maintaining the employee information, so their end to end, even the private information will be maintained. For example, their national identifiers. So you can't just publicly give the information to everyone about their Aadhaar cards. So the security is really important over there, where Oracle will be maintaining that security layer on the top of the complete information. So that is where we call it as compliance and reducing the risk of the data. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the next slide. Yes, so we have some of the examples here for the ERP systems. So ERP system usually include the applications for accounting, human resource, sales, CRM, and supply chain management. But ultimately, you can combine different modules to better meet your needs, right? So you can't maintain different systems every time when you want to maintain the info. So ultimately, that's where Oracle Fusion HCM is kind of implemented with across the modules. So where you can maintain everything. It could be your core HR absence, or it could be CRM system, or anything. But supply chain management, manufacturing, everything can be maintained into Oracle Fusion. Okay. So, for example, you could add ERP components for e-commerce, inventory and order management and fulfillment. See, don't worry about these terminologies. These are different modules available. That's it. Nothing much to worry right now. Or include application designed for wide range of industries. Okay, just a basic examples about it. And these are current ERP providers. Not only this, there are several other, but these are just the basic top layer of the ERP providers. So we have Oracle applications, EBIS. This has been there from so long, and Oracle Fusion came in. We have Talio, SAP, PeopleSoft, HR Workday, ADP, and Microsoft Azure. So Azure is also the cloud thing. So all these are different ERP providers that are available right now in the market. So that's pretty much on the ERP. But if I just give you some brief about Oracle Fusion HCM trend right now in the market, so there are different projects that are happening because first thing is Oracle Fusion is very user friendly tool. Okay, if I just open this. So Oracle Fusion HCM is very user friendly. So that's where so many clients are becoming interested to implement this particular application. Okay. And for example, if one project is happening, at least there should be a members of 3 to 4 members who can implement this application. And for example, let's say if they are getting implemented within next 6 months, so the project will not be discontinued from there. So after that, they have to manage this application. Like, for example, if 4 members are implementing this, at least 2 to 3 members has to support the system for next couple of years. So that is where the projects are getting extended, and the kind of trend happening in the market is really good. Okay. So that's pretty much on Oracle Fusion HCM. So anyone, if you have any kind of concerns or questions, or if you're missing any basic point, you can let me know. I can answer you for that. I can give you one best example. If you have Naukri application with you, what you can do, you can just go to the Naukri job openings right now and search for Oracle Fusion HCM openings, and you can literally see the kind of post. It will just keep scrolling through. There are so many positions available right now, like technical consultants, functional consultants. There are different kinds of classifications in it. So you can just try to understand how the market is available for Oracle Fusion. And trust me, it's not that difficult to learn. It's very user friendly, as I said, nothing much of a coding that you have to apply there. So you just need to learn the application, and then you can easily get inside. So that's pretty much is what I have planned for the demo session. So if anyone is having any questions, feel free to ask, or else you can reach out to us again if you want to talk anything in private.
All clear. It's all clear, bro.
Perfect. All right. That's good to hear. So feel free to reach out to the person who has reached out to you. And if you have any questions further, we can pick it up. And also, if you are interested, we can share the schedule across. You know, Based on that, you can go for the next thing. Okay. So are we good to wrap it up then?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Thank you then. We'll see you again.